It's getting late in the night, depending where you are in the country, on Thursday, August 6th. And it's Adam Taxin here talking with one of my favorite, if not my very favorite, Northeast Philly native, Florida pro-gun, pro-Israel Christian conservatives. He actually works in the gun industry to some extent. And he's going to give me, because I missed some of it, his first take on the big Republican debate tonight. Not the kitty table debate, which maybe if you watch it, we'll get to later. But give me your initial thoughts, James DePaolo.
Well, I went ahead and I did some grading, and I didn't base it on whether I like them, how conservative they are, what I think they do as president. I basically took 4 bullet points for the debate. Did they get their message out, whether it was conservative, moderate, liberal? Did they help themselves? Did they gain votes? Did they help someone else by making a fool of themselves? And then they appeal to the conservative base, because we keep seeing the election dull. You know, Bush, he barely won those 2 elections. McCain, Romney, they didn't get the conservative base. They did get the conservative base. And I graded off that. And most of them were A's overall. I think that what they wanted to accomplish, most of the candidates did accomplish it. Trump, I gave an A. Bush, Christie, Walker, Cruz, Carson, all got an A. Kasich got a C. Paul got a D, and I'll go over, some notes afterwards. Huckabee A, Rubio A, Fiorina A, Perry A, Santorum A, Dindal A, Pataki C, Gilmore D, and Graham F. So I combined all the debates.
All right.
Graham, it's obvious that he was put out for the sole purpose of trying to steal money and votes from conservatives. He just did what the Reiner said, and he's out there. Same thing with Gilmore. Pataki, those 3, I think that their campaigns to be ending after this debate. It was horrible. If they make it to any caucuses, that would be amazing.
Yeah. No one's going to give them any money at this point. Let's keep this short regarding them, because no one cares. It's just a matter of, will they get on Fox News more often now as a result of it?
Yeah, money's the key. If we can get money away from them and get them to candidates who are conservative, that's the key. And hopefully, I think the 3 of them did enough to hurt themselves. In the happy hour debate, as it was called on the internet,
I called it the NIT. I called it the NIT, or the kitty table debate. But let's keep this to 30 seconds, because no one cares, and we'll get the guns first. And
Charlie did a great job. She was a pit bull. She really was, and I think she's moving up to the big leagues for the next debate. I think Kasich is out of the big boy table in the next debate. Paul has such name recognition, he's going to stay in, but he looked overly aggressive in the debate. He set both Trump up, and he set Christie up to look really wonderful. So he hurt himself in both occasions. He helped Trump, and he helped Christie. It's very obvious. That I don't think we got enough Carson time, and I think it's because he's new to politics. I didn't give him enough time.
I liked his closing. It was cute with the Siamese twins joke. I found that amusing.
He did a wonderful job with that joke.
Not presidential, Rubio, but I liked him.
It was very good to kind of point out that he is not an insider, but that doesn't mean he's not a smart man. Rubio's line on God creating, having a good group of GOP candidates versus the Democrats was wonderful. Huckabee, who I've always found interesting. I love his energy. I don't believe he's the most conservative, but his energy, his ability to get his message out, his one-liners, his clips are wonderful. I saw a lot here similar to what he did in 2008. I think he gained some supporters. I think he's going to be really helping himself in fundraising and polling with how he did. He did a wonderful job. He had a great ending there with talking about ego, or what was in the election, and then saying Hillary Clinton afterwards. So I think Huckabee showed the charisma that he had in 2008.
Yeah.
Plus his line about trust but vilify for Obama.
Yeah, I liked what he had to say. I only caught the ending part of the debate, but I did like that joke he said where everyone thought it was going to be Trump, and he made the comment about Hillary. But let me get, we can get this kind of analysis on Fox News on any channel right now. But I want to get your unique take. What was said about Second Amendment issues there? Anything?
Nothing. That was not a focus. My big issues. I have three big issues: education, because I'm a teacher.
Right.
The Second Amendment. I'm a big gun guy. You know, I love firearms. And pro-life. And there were some really good comments on pro-life. I think Trump had a really good line that I think endeared himself to conservatives, by the way, talking about abortion. I don't know how true it is. It doesn't matter how true it is. What matters is, did he get his message across? Did he help himself? And I think he did. I think he did with his line about a friend who was going to get abortion and didn't. He really did help himself.
Right. And he gave that line, which I had heard, said in regard to, I think, Beethoven before, about the parents were, had every reason to abort him, but they didn't. The guy turned out to be a real winner. And I may be skewing that somewhat.
Yeah, that's basically what that line was, and that helps himself out. I did not see any real juxtaposition in polling in this debate. I wanted to see whether there's going to be kid gloves, whether there's going to be blood in the water, and it's almost exactly a mirror image of 2012. 2012 was a lot of kid gloves in that first debate, and Santorum ended up really helping himself out in 4 years ago. 2012, 2011, whatever that first debate was.
Right. If you had to say the most important points, I want to keep this relatively short so people will actually watch it. And when want you to have a chance to have some completion here. But the most important takeaways here, you had to say the three biggest takeaways here. What are they? And this is, think about people who didn't watch the debate or were asleep or something on the East Coast.
The biggest takeaways is that there was really no big change. If you had a horse in the race or a couple of horses in the race, you're not seeing a big change. There was only a little bit of aggression, and it was in a negative way from Rand Paul. Other than that, I mean, there really wasn't a big change in anything. I really think it's just people who had a horse in the race felt that they were justified in supporting who they supported. That's it. I think we're going to see more in the days to come leading up, especially with the next debate on CNN. But that's where I think we're going to see some change.
Two more questions. Two more questions for you. Well, actually, let you say about the questions from the audience first, how they were relevant.
Well, not the question from the audience. I think Fox News questions were very good, and they held the feet to the fire, which I was really happy about. I was really happy with the questioning overall from the Fox News moderators. Chris Wallace, here's a good takeaway. I think Chris Wallace went after Trump a little bit, and I think he showed that rhino establishment. He was trying to take Trump out. And I think people saw that and they didn't like it. And I think that helped Trump.
There was no way he could take Trump out. I mean, Trump would eat him for lunch.
No. Exactly. I agree.
Is there any reason anyone's going to be talking about this debate a month from now, 2 weeks from now?
No. You're going to get some polling. You're going to see some feedback in the news, here on the radio, and they're off to the next one. There's really nothing.
No key takeaways. And finally, any thoughts on Israel, how that came up, and any thoughts that appeal to you as a Christian in particular?
I love Israel. Not only a Christian, I'm Catholic, and there's a very strong paradigm between Catholicism and Judaism. There's no reason to go into that right now, but I love Israel, and I love my Jewish friends. I love my Jewish friends that are leftists for some reason. I don't know why, but I love them for who they are. But there wasn't enough.
Yeah, I caught the Rand Paul at the end. The Rand Paul at the end, he talked about... how, he would defund Israel like he would every country. And, Netanyahu supports that in the long run. And why should we borrow from China? And I don't think anyone could really complain about that.
No. I mean, I love Israel. I love Bibi. The man has 180 IQ. He's a hero. He is the leader of the free world right now. That's a fact. So, not much, though, from Israel, from the questions or from the candidates. Hopefully we see more of that. I expect more from the CNN. I expect CNN to really go after the Israel Zionist.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And finally, what they talked about God a little bit at the end. Was there anything really too interesting there, or just pablum?
What, about Trump?
No, they were asked to talk about God at the end of the debate.
Oh, about God. I have no idea why they put that in there, even being a faith-based man. I think they threw that in there. I don't know why they threw it in there. It was kind of pointless. I think it just allowed the candidates to speak in platitudes, and Kasich and Graham were all about platitudes all day. So it didn't really serve its purpose.
Yeah, I guess there was a mention by Trump of all the plight of Christians in the Middle East, but I don't know if that came up.
Yeah, he did. He mentioned the head getting cut off, and I think he's the only one, and that helps him out. But
right.
I think that was before that question.
Oh, true.
So I think Carly's in the Big Kid table next debate, in case if he's still in the races on JB next debate.
Interesting. And do you want to be described as a Christian or a Catholic? If I have room for one word.
I'm Catholic.
Okay, you prefer Catholic to Christian. Okay, fair enough.
I'm Catholic. Yep.
Fair enough.
No
James
problem.
DePaulo in Northeast Philadelphia. You're a Philly guy, but not a Northeast Philly guy.
I'm a Philly guy. No, I'm not Northeast.
Where in Philly are you from again? Where in the greater Philly area?
I was born in Chester. My first
Delco.
of life was in Swarthmore. Yeah. I was in Swarthmore until I moved up to the Poconos area.
That's right. Go Eagles.
So, yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Philadelphia Eagles.
Thanks for your time today.